Okay, welcome to today's video. So, as we are starting, all of us, the virtual challenge on Tuesday the 1st of September, 10,000 steps a day for the month of September. Today I'm going to focus on a few key injury prevention exercises as if people are increasing their activity on a daily basis, then we just want to be considerate of a few risk factors that we can try to avoid. So one of them is dogs. I have managed to sprain both hamstrings separate times while walking dogs. Not this one, different dogs. So one of them, they was a bigger kelpie than this one, and he saw a little fluffy dog and was terrified, so ran behind a bush. That was one hammy. The other hammy was doing some sprints at the park. It was doing a whole lot of barking, so trying to distract it, thinking that I was younger than I am, and a few sprints led to the other hammy feeling pretty cranky for a considerable amount of time. So, dogs, hammies, we want to manage that as best as we can. Another one, if you are unfortunately in stage 4 lockdown in Melbourne and you start to try to get your steps by doing laps of your coffee table, you know, it's an awkward angle that you'll be walking on, so you just want to make sure that our ankles are as stable and strong as possible. So we'll be including some ankle stability exercises as well. If you're in lockdown and you are restricted with where you can exercise and you're going to start going up and down your stairs a whole lot of times, we need to make sure that two things. First, our knees are feeling really good, and the second one is our hips are really stable, because if you're starting to put extra stress through your hips, they can get pretty cranky. So that'll probably do us. I think they are 4 key areas that we want to look after. So our ankles for the coffee table circuit, our hips and our knees for the stair climbing, and our hammies for the pooches, those savage beasts. So I will be using some fancy equipment. A piece of paper. So this is depending on what surface you have available. If it's floorboards, you can just use a fancy pair of socks. So spring edition, thanks to Steigen, that will slide really well. They actually slide pretty well on most surfaces, but maybe it's Steigen, so you can invest in a Geelong company. Otherwise, if you've got some better carpet, a piece of paper is pretty fantastic. I will be using this fancy balance disc that I got off the internet many years ago. Now you can get carpet sliders and some different tools that are specific for this. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to start off standing on one leg, resting your foot on your paper, floorboards, balancy disc, starting with just a very soft bend in the knee, so it's pretty much straight, and reaching your hands down towards the foot on the ground, the foot that's staying still. Good for balance, good to lengthen through your hammies. You'll feel just a little bit of a stretch down the back of your hammies, well, hammy, on this leg you're standing on. So controlling the way down and then coming back up to standing tall. As you go, try to, watch your pause, try to relax your toes on the leg you're standing on. Also try not to stick, oh hey Joe, you're waking up. Try not to stick your hip out to the side, no hanging out on those hip tendons. They do not appreciate it. We'll do another couple on this leg. So dancing is included too in the virtual challenge, or all information on the website. All right, let's swap legs. So I'll show you from this side. So standing on one foot, make sure you can see. Reaching your hand down towards the leg that stays still as you slide the other one away from you. So really the other leg you're only using for balance, just to make, otherwise you're all over the place, and then it turns into more of a balance exercise than a hamstring dog injury prevention exercise. So as long, it doesn't have to be fast, as long as you can control the action. Relax your toes, no clawing, no poking your hip out to the side. Lots of rules, but we just want to do them well. So we're going to pair up a couple of exercises at a time. The next one is going to be for our quads. So instead of sliding backwards, we slide forwards and you bend that knee as you reach this forwards. So, as you're sliding this one forwards, the knee that's bending, this is important, the knee that's bending has to bend more towards the outside of your foot than your big toe. Keep it away from your big toe and definitely keep it away from coming towards the other knee. Essentially just trying to flare it away from the other knee. It's a much nicer knee position. So controlling as you reach that forwards and then back in again. All right, swapping legs. So sliding forwards. This is a good time to mention that every 10-minute block of exercise that you do, we count as 1,000 steps towards our daily target. Thank you very much, little nibbler. So just bending that, so you're controlling it with the leg that you're standing on. Hey, hey, hey. She's grooming me. I have showered. Couple more, maybe 3 more. So minimal pressure on the leg that's sliding, all of your pressure is on the leg you're standing on. Let's do 1 more, and then we'll go back to our hammies. So this time, hammies, we're going to start same as we did last time, really soft knee and the leg you're standing on. Slow things down, so at least 3 seconds on the way down and 3 seconds on the way back up. If you have the patience, you can do longer than that. You could do 6 seconds, 10 seconds, you could do 30 seconds. You could do as long as you like. Slow exercise is a really nice way to feel how you're moving. Feel if you're, when you start to return to standing, if you're lifting with your back or if you're pushing your hips forward with those hammies and glutes that we would like you to be. Stop with the nibbling. Hey, hey. Just practicing our dance routine. So slowing it down. Reps don't matter. It doesn't matter how many you're doing. What we really want is a little bit of muscle fatigue. And you'll find that if you go more slowly, you'll get that in less reps. Alright, and then other side. Side on once again. So really slowly, super slow. Well, as slow as you have the patience to do. And then back up again, just controlling the way down. And slowly back up. Your back should not be doing all of the work. It should be coming from the back of your thighs and the back of your hips. And just controlling each way. If you're getting tight in your back, then you need to have a little break and work on technique of, on the way down, you feel that you're pushing your hips back, reaching your hips back. And then as you're coming back up again, you're pushing your hips forward to bring you back up again. So you're trying to avoid, when you get down to the bottom, lifting your shoulders before you start to move through your hips. Throws everything out apparently. We've got a few more slow hammies. All right, quads, back to our quads. So slowly this time. You can see the pattern, slowly reaching as far forwards as you can, knee towards little toe or second toe from the outside, just not together. So it's tempting to race through each exercise. The first one, we just go through the motions, trying to get a little feel for it, work on our technique. Second time, we're slowing things down. Do 2 more on this leg and swap legs. Okay, could have been 3, not very good at the counting, especially those big numbers. Other leg, reaching forwards, and then back up again. So for this virtual challenge, we really want people to get involved in teams of up to 10. The reason being that you are able to support each other. So of course we want everyone to improve or increase their physical activity, but we want people to feel as connected as possible at this time because it is really hard. So if you know people who are in an apartment building in Melbourne, as I was 3 years ago, I'm very happy not to be now, it would be really tough. So reach out to those people, get them on your team and support each other. So you can share ideas of different ways to stay active, different things you can do. As I mentioned, all types of activity count. 10 minutes equals 1,000 steps. So you can either count your steps with an activity tracker or just go off the clock. There's a PDF on our website, on the events page. You can download and then you can keep track of your daily totals. We're really hoping that we can support each other at this time by having fun and getting some great videos and footage of the great coastline that we have available to us. All right, so those are those ones. So we've done our hammies and our quads to look after our knees. So we're going to go on to our balancy one and then the outside of our hips. So, well, all of our hips really. So, hopefully I'm still in shot. We're going to go side to side for this one, really making sure that as you slide out, you don't poke the hip out to the side. So the leg you're standing on, the foot you're standing on, same rules. We're combining these rules now. You have to keep your toes relaxed, no clawing, and your knee towards the outside of your foot, the little toe or the second toe, but not the big toe. And you might notice that it's easier to control on the way down, but then as you start to pull that one in, it wants to drift inwards, and that's not allowed. Rules. Knee outside of the foot. If you find that your knee wants to drift inwards as soon as you start to return, don't go so far. Go as far as you can control. Simple. So it's not meant to be a stretch, it's a control exercise. We'll do one more on the side. Now we swap over. All right, standing the other leg, and we are sliding the other way. Same rules, toes relaxed, knee towards little toe. All the time. Do a couple more, and then we'll pick on those ankles. Last one. Okay, so for our ankles, what I'd like you to do Just stand on your tiptoes on one leg, and then you're just sliding forwards, diagonal, these different directions. So it's meant to be challenging. If you want to hold on to the mantelpiece or back of the couch or something else just to make it achievable, just try a finger, 2 fingers, something like that. Should be challenging. This is for our ankle stability and a little bit of calf strength. So as well as you can control reaching in these different directions. And then when you are tired, you get to have a rest. That's me done. So other leg. So first you get your balance. Rise up onto the toes on one leg. No clawing. Same rules. There aren't many rules, but we just need to stick to them. Reaching in these different directions, just keeping that heel up in the air. Trying not to run over the dog. Trying to keep your balance as best as you can. Hopefully it's normal for everyone else's ankles to be cracking and creaking. You're joining in. Thought so. And then when you get tired, or you start to lose your balance, you rest. And we come back to that first one, sliding sideways. You're doing just a small squat, very small squat. We'll call it a micro squat, as you're reaching that leg out to the side. Okay, other leg, we are getting through them. So remember, you are allowed to go a little bit deeper as long as you can control your knee, your ankle, your dog. Why don't you have a little wriggle on the ground? Two more on this leg. Whoop. All right, and then I find this one really tough, so you do too, in a good way. Coming up onto your toes, on the leg that's not on the slidey thing, and then reaching the slidey thing in a few different directions. We'll swab you. Coming back up. So it's okay to shake, but when you do start shaking, it's a good sign of fatigue, so rest. No need to keep pushing through. All right, last one. Other leg up on the toes and reaching in a few different directions, keeping that heel off the ground. So we have stacks of videos. You can go through the Facebook group and pull them up since about probably March, I think. So you can look them up. We also have our YouTube channel, Great Ocean Road Health, with a bunch of our videos up there too if you find it easier. Whatever works best. 10 minutes, 1,000 steps. It's a pretty good deal if you ask me. Oh, I'm nearly done. All right. So, thanks for watching. Any requests, please get in touch. We are still business as usual at both Apollo Bay and Lawn, so if you need anything from us, just reach out. Happy to help. See you soon.